What can I say? Sometimes people will ask me, have you folded such and such? Okay, the first one that, well, someone said to me, they said, now I'm going to use you guys as your examples right here. She said, have you folded praying hands? Put your hands together. Look at it. Well, I'm sorry, that's really boring. I'm not going to fold that. So then, turn your hand sideways. Okay, so now that looks like praying hands. But continue looking at your hand and look at what it would take for me to fold it. So you start out down here and that's a single fold. You come up to the thumb, now I'm picking up a second fold just for one line. I keep on coming up. I come to the pinky digit and now I'm picking up 3. Pretty soon when I come up to here, now I'm folding 5 just for one part of the hand all the way across. That involves a lot of folds. I will not fold a religious book. I fold like my dove and that kind of thing in a hymnal. Well, hymnals are numbered by the hymns. So you have, 1,197 at the end. That's not pages. That's hymns. And I'm not going to sit there and count the pages. So I don't do, anything that is religious in religious books. All right, so I still tried it. And I wouldn't even take it to dog fight. It was horrible. It was ugly. I even put a cross in it. And I said, I was right. I told her, I said, no, I don't think it'll turn out. It was right. Okay, so someone suggested, or they asked me, have you done any Snoopy Charlie Brown? Well, Snoopy and Charlie Brown came out in nothing but soft bounds, and I will not fold in a soft bound. Soft bounds are for this. They're not for my art. The reason why is because you spend a lot of time. I have to create the pattern. I have to draw my lines. I have to design it. I have to do whatever. So I will not do anything but a hard bound. And I use the hard bound kind of as a frame. So someone said something and I went, oh, I really love Snoopy and Charlie Brown. He's such a kick and stuff. So what did I do? And I usually go to, you guys, the charities in town. I go to, Friends of the Library, Homeward Bound, sometimes Goodwill, but their books are expensive and I don't really like paying that kind of price. St. Vincent's, this kind of thing. But when they came up with that idea, I went online and I found a Schultz book. And so I did Snoopy. And I've done Charlie Brown and Snoopy, and I've done Charlie Brown and Lucy, and so on. So anyhow.
That's 3D almost.
Yes, yeah. Well, and people think I cut my books. No, I don't. I folded a dragon. I'll have to tell you this tale on myself. Okay, my grandson was into dragons, and this is before I really knew about the importance of counting my folds. I got a dragon book. This is going to be great. I'm going to fold a dragon inside this dragon book. Well, I folded the dragon and I ended up with no face. Well, it's not a dragon if you don't have a face. So I decided, okay, I'm going to get smart. I'm going to start at the end and work this way. Well, then I ended up with no scales and spikes. Took me 4 times to fold that cotton picking dragon. And the reason why was because my book was too small. So I had to get a big book because there's a lot of teeth, there's a forked tongue, there's the top and bottom of the mouth, there's a lot, to this dragon. But he got it. All right, so what I wanted to do, I wanted to show you, I wanted to say that if anybody wants to reminisce from the 70s, I do have patterns that I will share with you that you can make. But I started a couple patterns and so forth to give you an idea as to the process. And this is out of a Wine Spectator magazine. So the process of folding for the repetitive fold for the Christmas tree, you come down. Now I don't come all the way over to the spine because the more pages you add, the harder it gets. And since you have to glue the front to the back, it ends up being, part of the limb sticking out and the other one recessed and stuff. So when I fold an eighth, all the way over to even a half of an inch, depending on what it is, if it's a big thing. Like for instance, the angel, she's folded at about a half of an inch. So you're taking your first page down to the spine and folding it, okay? So that was the upper right-hand corner coming down. All right, the next fold is using the same one, sharpening the tip at the top, holding the bottom fold, and coming down in this fashion. All right, so this is the second fold. Just because it's repetitive doesn't mean that it's only one time. Now you got a flat down here. Now if we were making the angel, this would become her wing. You wouldn't fold it down. But this one then, what I do is I just use the crease as long as I can on the magazine book that I'm using, and then you just fold it up. And that's what the directions show you. Now this particular one, because it's shiny, I would spray it. I would not leave it alone. I don't think it would be attractive with that. Now my question is there anyone who would like to take this and finish it? I've got the directions, and then all I ask you to do is take a picture so I see how it turns out. Does anyone want to finish it?
Did you rip the front cover off that?
I did, and it's important, I leave the back one on just to keep the pages clean and stuff, but it's important to rip off the front because it affects your fold.
So now when you say you spray it, you're talking about color or a lacquer?
Yes, you're spraying it with paint.
Like a green or something?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would be
or a
typical.
red or a gold, and I brought some things to, a couple things to decorate with it.
I was gonna say, then you glue on everything else, right?
Yeah, where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. The directions are in here. I brought I had a few little decorations, whether anybody wants to use it or not. But is there anyone that would like to finish it? Okay, then I'll take it home and finish it, and you can buy it at my boutique. Oh,
I'll do it.
okay, here.
I'm such a busy person, I got,
You have
Lots of
all
time.
this room, don't you, all this time. Here,
I'll do it in between doing the books.
there you go, there you go.
I'd love to try it.
One of the things I use sometimes, because I've got arthritis, and after using or after folding these for several times, I sometimes use, and I have to use it more frequently now, I think, but a bone folder. And the bone folder is designed, to crease the pages. The problem with this is that once you crease it, it's there forever. And so what I like to do until I'm really, really sure that I'm comfortable with my fold and stuff, I don't really like to use the bone folder unless I will use it on like the Christmas trees because I've made so many of them. But I won't use it on something like grits or whatever. And the reason why is because I can always use those, except for that one time, I can always use those for a geometric fold. I can create something. And the reason why this was called a bone folder was because at one time it was bone. Of course, now it would be somewhat illegal. Okay, so now,
We won't tell on
well, no, mine's a stick, an expensive stick.
Oh.
Huh? Bamboo is right. All right, the angel. I have two of them, and I'm going to find out if anybody wants to finish that. This is not as many pages, girls. All right, so the angel is done in the same way. And I should say that the pattern, for any of you who pick up the pattern, gives you a number of pages. But I seem to not be able to count very well. So I've ended up with less. There's no rule. You have to have a skirt in the back. All right? You have to have wings. But I like the skirt in front fuller than the back. All right, so if you end up miscounting like I did, you might only fold 10, even though the pattern says fold off 25 pages. And you fold 20, then 5 for the wing, and then you go back to the skirt. Okay, so the same process, all right, same process, except I'm not going to go over as far because I want a spot for the head. Same process. Okay, 4, and I've got to crease it, you guys. And then I'm going to tuck it in just like I did the tree. So you do this for X amount of pages. Then you come over, and I'll do it at the back, and you do a mirror image, but you fold the next 5 going up. All right, so I gave myself a mark. All right, so now what I'm going to do, and I've got to do a mirror image, so I have to do it backwards. Okay, so I'm going to fold this page over, and I'm going to, again, do the Christmas tree. Fold. And these I end up doing into the spine, because I'm only folding 5 of them, and but this time you do not tuck in. Oh, I did several. Oh, cool. So I've already got 2 wings there. Okay, so you don't fold in. The last thing, remember when I said that you crease it and you tuck that in? Well, that's her wing, so you're not going to, all right? Now, I goobered with this one, but that's okay because it's going to come down and make part of her dress and you won't ever see it. All right, so is there anyone who would like to finish an angel? I have 2. All right, Renee? And I even have a head, but you can see that. Okay, and Jean, I've got the other one. Okay, all right, so you know what? They've decided to do it because there's very little yet to fold, isn't it? Yeah, you know, very few pages now. You can see that, you know, I'll decorate mine up and I did not, you guys, I did not give you any lace because I didn't have any, but I think that lace is kind of fun to put on her, you know, up at the neck and this kind of thing. And I don't use styrofoam balls, even though the pattern says styrofoam ball. Styrofoam balls, you guys, are expensive.
They are.
Yeah, Goodwill is cheaper. You can go and get, and I'm always looking for heads that are either, you know, kind of like a pearl, light white color or something, or gold or silver. So you have heads in here that are in the cheap direction.
So what is her head? It's not on.
It's an ornament.
Oh, okay.
See? This one, I even tried it to see if it would work. You take off the thing, and remember I said that I folded out a little bit of a distance because you're going to glue the head on. All right, so, and I'm passing on little secrets that I'm welcome. Yes. Now these are secrets that I had to learn. I should be charging you for my secrets. You're welcome. All right. The last one that I have to fold is the snowman. And the snowman is like the Santa, except they've done something a little bit different, and I went on ahead. Now this one I'll probably not be able to sell because she's got a lot of pages to it. Okay. So anyhow, again, you take your corner down, and I've left this one at about 1/4 of an inch because I'd like to have some place to put the head. So I'm going to do my first fold down. All right, the next one, Santa, the patterns that I've come across, have you come up to the original fold that you had, all right?
Yes.
This particular one takes you a little bit further. Don't ask me why, but I didn't want to change the pattern because if anybody takes it, I want them to at least feel like that they are successful instead of going, why in the world did I say I would take this one from her? Okay, so I take it up to, or what I did, it's important to find a line. So what I did was, so that they would be fairly consistent, I took it up to the print. And that's what they're telling you in the pattern to cross it over. Why? I don't know. You could, not on this one you couldn't, but you could have just stopped it at the bottom. They give you the directions on giving him a hat, and guess what? They even give you the pattern for the arms. And that's important because you should see my Santa that I'm working on at home. I had a pickle of a time coming up with his arms and his mittens. Anyhow, they give you the pattern for the arms. They give you a direction for the little hat, this kind of thing. But I try to cheat anytime I can. And someone gave me a snowman head in an ornament for Christmas. I got 2 of them, so you're only getting 1 of them. Now, I did include, though, and I've got his buttons here, and I also included something if you wanted to make the hat, because I still thought a little black hat with, and I decided that, you know, with his little halo on, whatever you'd call that. I think it's supposed to be a hat band, a headband or something. So I matched that, and I figured you could do that around your, you know, around your hat. So I have given you some things, and then you could scratch it and get a, you know, pay an exorbitant amount of money and buy your own styrofoam ball. Is there anyone who wants to finish the snowman? Can you do another one? Oh, you want to trade? You just, oh, and you know what I would do too on the snowman, this is for Eugene and for anyone who takes the patterns, I would spray paint it white, and then I would spray it with snow. I love the snow. And then if it comes off, you're not going to be able to see it because it's got the white underneath. All right. Does anyone want the other angel? All right, I'll finish it and you can buy it at my boutique then. All right. That's pretty much it, unless someone has questions. Somebody did ask me how I got started, and I said, I don't know. I was on the internet. I'm always going, because this particular technique, I think, started over in the UK, because that's where a lot of the displays and stuff like that I've come across is, and I think it goes way back. It is considered a form of origami, that kind of thing. But I saw a display on the internet of geometric folds, and it was in a library, and I thought, that is really super cool. So I started kind of messing around with that, and then from that I thought, wait a second, if I can do that, maybe I can do a picture. And I started messing around with that. Now you have to understand, my messing was for several years, that kind of routine. Because when you finish, it's got to look like a picture that, you know, that the object is, and this kind of thing. So, you know, I can't really remember what got me going, but the only thing that kind of reminds me is that picture that I saw of the display of the geometric folds. Barbara Anderson also told me that down here at the bookstore, they've got some books, I guess, with geometric folds up at the top and stuff. So anyhow, it's not brand new. And you had a...
Actually, I think you've answered my question.
Oh, okay, good, because I thought you were going to say I can't remember now, and I was trying to talk long enough so that you wouldn't remember. You know? All right, I'm done.
Very good.
Oh my. Okay, so when Marilyn said, you know, wear your jewelry, well, I decided that I would try folding jewelry, and this actually is not easy, because softbound books do not have structure, whereas a hardbound book has an extra sheet that is either glued or they are stitched. These are neither, and the more folds that you put in, so this is a geometric fold. You can use this geometric fold for you know, for a hedgehog, whatever. Oh, and then, you know, I've done candles. You know, you can do different shapes with the geometric folds. Anyhow, I get almost to the end and it splits. If it splits, it cannot go back together again. So I lost more of these, so I didn't do very many. So these are all, you know, considered geometric folds. This is a fold that I've turned one way and then I've turned another way. This is one, and it took a little, I did the point, kind of similar to the Santa one. And then I took just a hole punch, or a punch, and created this design. And then this one is just a repeat of this one. So just little geometric
You should
shapes.
fold that with $20 bills, and you'd always have a lot of money with you. Give it as
But
a
then,
gift.
but here's the key. You'd also probably get robbed in this day and age. And so
That's true.
nobody's gonna rob me
Yeah.
for paper.
That's true.
All right, I'm done.
Susan, when and where is this boutique you talk about?
Oh, I do 6 of them. I did 6 of them this past year. So Sandy got me involved in some of them because she does, you know, her doll clothes and stuff, but St. James is the earliest one, and that's the second week in February, I mean in November, something like that, first weekend? Yeah, and then from there we went to, well, I went to, where did I go? Oh, Church on the Hill. They're expensive, I'm not gonna come back here though. And then Rick Rial, Patricia got me involved in Rick Rial. And then I went to, where did we go? Tigard. And then I went to Carlton. So it's through the season of starting in November through, and if you've never gone to the little boutiques around, they're really fun.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, no, they're a lot of fun. And I always tell people bring cash or a checkbook because some people are businesses and some people are not. Sandy and I are not businesses, Patricia's not business, and so on. And so, you know, a lot of people, I guess, are used to using, you know, their card or something like that. But it's just kind of fun. Okay, that's it.